Okay. So another concept here that I want to talk about, and again, falls into that same category of, I feel like I can call this anytime against anything people are doing coverage wise, anything from a blitz standpoint. Just again, another one of those plays that I feel like has a ton of answers. And this concept has been a lot of our quarterbacks, one of our favorites over the years because of the very simple progression. So it's a little bit different than Y cross. This is a concept that it is just purely 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's work from the single receiver back across to the trip side all the time. The progression never changes, and it gets you some interesting matchups. So this is a trail. We call this trail. It's a trail concept for us. So what this is we've got a vertical out here. Now this vertical is different. It is must outside release, but it's not a must speed release, meaning he can work this a little bit different than the vertical we just saw in Y cross. Okay. The tailback has a free release swing route. So we're gone to the single receiver right now. Okay. Our number 3 receiver is going to work a little wide stem to get a natural pick here. Dig route that can be settled versus zone. My number 2 receiver is going to one step and then run a shallow route that he's got to continue running. And then we have a backside 15-yard curl here. The progression here is very, very simple. All right. The vertical is always 1, and then we're just going to work, in this case, left to right. Vertical to the tailback, okay, to my under, to the dig, again, that can settle versus zone, and then the curl, which you don't get to very much, backside, okay. So it gives you a chance just to get a one-on-one vert ball in the air. You know, see Baker takes that right now. He knows he's got matchup. He's got good field space out there. He had a safety here, but obviously it's not a high safety, and it's not. He didn't get out of the back pedal very quickly, so takes it right now. So very simple, and I think that's key. One of the keys for us on this play that we constantly tell our quarterbacks is, don't let them take away the X with one player. If we've got one-on-ones out there, then we need to go. All right. Make them cover to it. Make that cover 1 free safety, okay, fly over the top to take it away. Don't let them play the X one-on-one on this concept. If you do that, you'll get a lot of great one-on-one shots. Get the ball up out of your hands, take pressure off of your pass pro, all that. And then number 2 is you'll make them eventually have to start double teaming him some way, somehow, and then you're going to get a numbers game, especially with these 3 receivers right here. So you can see this unfolding, just a little wide stem here by the tight end, creates a little bit of a rub. Okay, see if that Mike can run with him. Obviously, if he takes that away aggressively, you can see that dig route getting ready to be very, very good. I think the other key here, and we didn't do a great job on it, the Y kind of got rerouted, and I don't love the Y here. But the key for these guys is obviously we want to pick. We want him to come right off of his tail right there, which the shallow receiver does fine. Okay, but this Y's got to continue to get his depth off of this, because you don't want these guys covering each other up. You want to have good separation. We can illustrate that better here. Like, this is just a little too close for comfort for me. I don't want that Y to get so much reroute, so he can keep this vertical, let this get out in front of him a little bit more. So now I've got a clear lane to throw through. And then that curl is really just there for when they squeeze the hell out of these 2 routes and you end up with a one-on-one backside. Don't get to it often, but it's there if you need it. Talk to the quarterbacks a bunch about with this tailback throw, like you're going to see here, just about matchups. So I think some of that is just knowing the defensive personnel, and then also knowing, like, do I have a dude back here? You know, if you've got a dude back there, when we had like Joe Mixon, we would let them throw balls out there to him that we might not throw to just an average receiving tailback. But if you got guys that you know just in space are going to be tough to handle, this is another kid we had here is really fast named Daniel Brooks. Same deal. Get it to him right now out there in space. Take it, get it out of your hands, and let him go. And have some good stuff happen. But that free release has been a good spot for us. Puts people, I think, in some tough positions against pressures and how they're going to handle the back. And again, a lot of times for us, they'll take a linebacker out there with him, but we've got a lot of field space. And again, just athletically, if we like the matchup, we'll talk about it. Maybe a week where, they've got a will linebacker here that's 235 pounds and just runs okay. And we got a tailback. We know superior athlete. When we telling our quarterbacks, listen, we call this unless he just jumps him like crazy. If he's just feathering out here, give it to him right now. Make him try to tackle him one-on-one in space. So quarterbacks certainly got to understand matchups. Okay, good example here of just kind of this under route. I think why it's important to get some vertical press to start. You get this Mike here coming trying to reroute this dig. Can't transition enough to catch this under. I think that's very, very difficult. So again, I think that's why this wide stem, and we throw so much stick and, again, Y cross, or, we'll throw the sail route behind this. So that gives these Mikes some tough looks where he's trying to get out to get under stick. And then, man, we snap that right back under with the cat that can run. You can see you just can't catch him. So this is certainly one. Your one-on-one guy you want there. This dig has some feel to it, which we'll see in a minute. And then, your fastest guy is certainly who you want to play, the number 2. Again, that matchup is so tough. Again, this is why quarterbacks love this. So you see Baker here looking left. He knows the vert's out. Quickly checking the back. Obviously knows that's out. And I'm back to this right now. Another one, you can see the curl getting ready to be good. This is a wide stem curl that we want to keep wet and then come back straight to the quarterback late. The reason we do that, the reason we keep width, and again, that's why these guys got to understand not just their route, but the other routes, is that dig could potentially curl it right there in a zone. And so he's got to stay out of his way. This dig has the right of way. Okay. So that definitely could have thrown the under here. I think we're kind of going back on this one. Obviously, we didn't take the vert ball here. Feeling 2 people out here with the tailback, but kind of knowing if I drop this off, if I don't get it to him quick, we could have a train wreck there. So we get onto the dig, and this is a pretty good, I think, example of the dig. You could see really nice stem by the Y. Look at the separation. That's kind of what I was talking about before. That is really good separation. That's what we want to be on 2 completely different levels there. And you can see the Y right here. He knows he's open, so he starts to just throttle right there in the hole and gives us a shot right there. That's really a nice shot. I would have had no issue if he feels this defender leave him. I've got no issue with him curling it up here, but he does at least throttle it down enough to not get himself covered. Really nice job by the Y. Okay, tailback's taken away quickly. Again, there's your dig shot again right behind it. Get that Mike to overcommit to it just a second. That opens up that window. If he gets squeezed by this, now I'm one-on-one out there for the curl. Great look at it right here. You can see him going through the progression. Right side. There it is. And I think that's what guys love about it. Again, the progression just never changes here. You can get through it so quickly. Only other thing I don't have, I didn't put enough probably good examples of on this concept is just obviously the picks that you create with this and man coverage. There's certainly, we've been able to create some natural rubs, some natural picks. offensive coaches call them rubs, defensive coaches call them picks, right? But that's also allowed us to gain some great separation and have some big plays there. So once again, I mean, you saw it there versus a lot of different coverages, but another great shot. Tag wise for us, I mean, we get a team that's getting the safety involved, any type of quarters, this or that, we can certainly tag some posts. But this has been a play that we honestly have not had to tag very much. We've tried to keep it very, very consistent for our quarterbacks. And again, it's one of those plays you go into a game plan with knowing I really don't care what they play. I don't feel like I have to call it at the perfect time. If they come in and change coverages, my guys know the progression. Our progression is not based on coverage. Our progression is based on how we know we're going to execute the routes and moving through it in an orderly fashion. So great concept there. I think it's one, just I know I mentioned this earlier, but if you do look at something like this, I would just definitely recommend you got to really think about who these players are going to be. I mean, again, you want a guy that can win one-on-one out here. Again, the tight end's got to have some feel, and then you want a guy that can roll. I mean, this is your guy that if they misstep at any, just like the clip I showed you of Tennessee, you want somebody from a speed perspective that can make them pay as your number 2 slot receiver there. Okay, all right.